am your host, King RP. I am life. I am energy. I am the possibility of what comes next. Moving with purpose, speaking with power, and becoming more every day.
Hey, I am your co-host, King Mackey, better known as Heru the Great. Call me necessary.
I'm your co host, King Christopher. I'm here to recognize truth, evaluate the path, leverage knowledge, wisdom, and discipline, and implement change through action.
I am King Nick. I am a dedicated police officer committed to integrity, accountability, and service. I believe in treating everyone with fairness and respect while working to protect the community, uphold the law, and build trust through professionalism and compassion.
There we go,
Love
fellas.
it. Love it.
Why is
Love it.
mine
Love
so ego-based and everybody's just so seriously?
It doesn't matter. We're all awesome.
There we
Right?
go. There
Right?
we
That's
go.
right. That's right. King Maggie, hit it with that affirmation.
All right, affirmation for today is always we stand together as brothers, united in purpose and grounded in respect. We move with love, speak with clarity, and carry peace. No ego, no division, only growth. Each voice matters. Together, we build something greater. We are aligned, we are ready. Peace in our energy, power in our unity, and purpose in our message. It is done.
It
It
is
is
done.
It
done.
is done. It is done. Again, we welcome all those to Open Mic, where real conversations meet real perspective. No scripts, no limits, just truth, growth, and elevation. We're here to challenge minds, expand thinking, and build something greater. I'm going to hit us with a few words of inspiration here, real quick. Life gets lighter when you realize the soul does not grow only through deep thoughts, but also through loud laughter, bad timing, and learning not to treat every problem like it is the final chapter. Some of the most fundamental wisdom comes from surviving in awkward moments, laughing at our own mess, and remembering that peace is not always profound. Sometimes it is simply a good breath, a mind, and the ability to say, well, that was ridiculous, and keep going. Simply,
Mhm.
two things. Don't sweat the small stuff is number one. Number two.
Right.
And number one, everything is small stuff. Keep it simple, folks. Amen.
Everything.
Amen. Amen to that.
Oh,
You're right, brother.
oh man, yeah.
That's
You
I
right.
sure
got a
are
story.
right.
All
I got a
right.
story on that
How
later,
we
but we'll talk later. Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah. Everybody's doing good today. What's been on everybody's minds lately here this week?
The data centers were still on my mind.
Mm,
Yes.
okay, what you
And
got?
I've been thinking about this. And like, we need, for us to maintain power in our country, for the world, we do need data centers. But the way they're being implemented, in my opinion, is very wrong. They are causing a huge demand on local infrastructure. And these data centers, I mean, they're putting millions to billions of dollars into these buildings and taking up huge parcels of land that could potentially give us livestock and farms, and taking away housing for people as well. And I think if these companies are going to come in and want to build data centers, for one, I think we need to have more environmental studies done to figure out what the actual impact
Mhm.
is on the with these data centers being built. And at the same time, if these companies want to move into our communities, um, from what I've been reading so far, it seems like the biggest pitfall that's going on right now is that the community don't have the infrastructure, and the companies are not putting in money to build that infrastructure up to be able to support what they're wanting. And so my thought, and I was going to ask you guys, is if these data centers want to move into our communities, to make sure it doesn't ruin our environment, and then have them pay for the infrastructure upgrades to be able to support that, so it doesn't um, make it to where us in the local communities have to pay for it and suffer.
So why do you
That's a
think we
great
need
point.
them? Why do you think we need them? And you
Because I
said
know
the
I
power of the
do.
country.
Yeah, I mean, I know other countries right now are building data centers. Like China,
Mhm.
they're actually being. I
Mhm.
mean, China's always doing crazy stuff, and they're building I'm sorry, data centers underneath the water in the ocean.
Just in the
That's right.
ocean. That's smart.
That's right.
I think
But
that's
but at
smart.
the same,
In a sense.
that's smart because it helps with cooling. But what
Hmm.
about the environmental impact of the ocean?
And that's true
Absolutely.
too,
well,
but either way it goes, we're going to be affected. I mean, I don't, it's only to me the amount of
Absolutely.
time. the amount of time. You know what I mean? We're like that's why I say we're
Mhm.
kind of dead and gone. But it's this affection or this situation is going to be on our kids and our grandkids.
Yep.
You know what
And
I
that-
mean? And you know,
To me, like if it is gonna like, it's coming. So we should require these companies to build up our infrastructure locally.
but they're not. I mean, it's like the current administration has already eliminated so many APA rules and regulators. They don't want that to happen. They want to do it by the skin of their teeth and just to make the profit off of it. It really
Maybe
has
we-
nothing to do with us.
Maybe we need
Well,
to talk
there's
to
no
representatives.
They're not being regulated. There's no
No,
restrictions.
no
There's
reg-
no
no.
regulations on the building of these data centers, if you will. They get to do and choose as they want to. And
Mhm.
this
You know,
one out here in
brother-
Texas is massive. This one out here in Texas
Ooh,
is
in Abilene.
massive.
It's Abilene.
I
Yeah,
saw
it's
that.
massive.
I think it uses millions or gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like I
And
think
that's
one
just-
of those data centers the amount of water could be used for a town of 50,000 people.
Yes. Yes.
And-
Matter
Right.
of fact, they said the one that they're building in Texas are adding 15 or 25 new turbines. That it's enough energy to produce electricity for half of Texas. Half of
Yes.
Texas, it will produce that much energy. That's unreal.
I
And
think they
then
need
they
to figure
talk
out the
Hey,
energy
Texas-
problem first.
Tex-
Well, I mean, the
well,
water
yeah,
problem
Texas is a
too.
very small state. Texas is very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Texas
right.
is its own country, man. What do you mean?
It really is.
Yes, it's,
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
but-
is.
it's insane.
Do you guys ever actually look into the big beautiful bill that got passed? Trump ran on that, like that was the first thing he did when he got in.
Yeah,
Do you know what's
Keep
actually
going.
in that bill?
several things, but go ahead. What you got?
I think it's a 1,300 page bill, and there's a sentence in there, or one or two sentences, and it mentions AI.
Mhm.
And I think this is the big reason why that bill got passed. It mentions in that bill no restrictions to be placed on the building up AI for the next 10 years for
Mm.
private or government sector. So there's no laws or no restrictions to be put in place for 10 years.
Mm.
That was snuck into that bill. And no one saw
Right.
that.
Right. I didn't heard it. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey,
And that's-
they're very sneaky. That's how they get a lot of stuff passed that they don't want you to know. They slip it in, and on page 843. You know,
Yes,
it's not right
yeah.
when they want to do.
Yeah, the font
dirty
changes.
work.
Yeah, even the font
Yes.
changes. The
Right.
font goes, it gets smaller,
Right.
you know. But you know what? But here's my thing about it. If Robert, you invited me to your house, right, and you invite me over for
Right.
dinner, my family, and you go in the kitchen and you watch me drop something in your water, you're gonna look at me like, what'd you put in my water? And I say, well, I just put a little
Mhm.
arsenic in your water, or I put a little cyanide in your water. You're gonna probably kick me out. You're gonna kick me out and tell me never come back. Now, if you keep inviting me over, then you're the problem. So my point is that
Mm.
we keep seeing our government lying to us, doing their best to hide things and take away things, whatever
Mhm.
the case may be. Why do we continue to trust and stand on what they believe and what they say? Like, I don't
We
get that
re-
part.
we
Because
really
people are
can't.
comfortable.
We really can't. I mean, when it boils down to it, they're politicians. Okay, they're gonna have an agenda that looks good to the public, but they're always gonna have their snippet that they're gonna add into it just to push something they want.
Mm.
But it's going to be attached to a larger bill, and that's a lot of things that were going to happen. But back on the data center, where do you have someone in the comments on YouTube right now talking? Nicole says, I have no idea where, but my husband said there is one data center out there that cleans the water they use for energy to prevent it from hurting the environment. But I need to fact check that with an emoji.
Yeah, so that, yeah, go ahead, Chris, because I know you probably know about that, but I'll piggyback off of you.
I don't really know much about that, but that's just going off what I was talking about. Is we need to hold these companies, because these companies have the money, man, and they're making the money. They're data centers. They're holding our data, okay, and they're making money off that data. And so
Mhm.
they should work with us if they're going to use our lands and they're going to use our funds. They should help and make sure the environment's taken care of, and they should put that money towards infrastructure in the community they're going to be part of.
So do you think? I'm sorry, RP. Do you think they should be held
No,
to
go
the
ahead.
same standards of like? So there's a lot of different stuff that is man-made in the oceans, oil rigs and stuff like that
Sure.
that they have to that are very highly regulated. Do you think they should be held to the same standards, as
higher
that?
standards, higher
Sure.
standards,
You
because they're
think
going
higher
to be
standards than oil,
fuck
like
yeah.
an oil rig?
But-
Yeah, but
Uh,
even that's laxed. Even that's laxed.
Yeah.
Oil rigs. I mean,
Yeah.
they dump oil into the ocean numerous of times over, last decade or so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but
but in our area here at Lake Ozarks, the opportunity zone where they were planning on doing a data center, that's literally 2 miles from my house.
Mhm.
I don't know what kind of impact that's going to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But here's something that Nicole was talking about, I believe. So what I've been hearing even through Facebook when in our local area, they're talking about cooling loop, like a cooling loop. And I guess a cooling loop, from what I understand, is kind of like the water and radiator in a car. You put water in the car, or water's in the car, radiating fluid,
Yeah.
and it keeps the motor from overheating through the radiator and through water and all the other information. So from what I understand is that that's supposed to be the same thing going into these infrastructures when it comes to data centers. They're saying that they're cooling loop. So what it is what I looked up. It says a loop inside of a data center usually refers to the continuous system that keeps servers running 24/7, mainly cooling, power, and data flow. So a cooling loop, the biggest one people talk about. Servers generate a lot of that. So data centers use a closed cooling loop. Servers heat the air or liquid cooling plates. The heat is transformed to a coolant, water, or specialized fluid. The heating fluid goes to chillers, cooling towers. Heat is released outside the building, and cooled fluid returns back into the system. That's why you hear concerns about water usage and a data center's increasing water demand. Some facilities use massive evaporating cooling systems or hybrid cooling systems. So I've heard that a lot, thinking that you need to flush this water out over time. Like right now, it might not be 3 to 5 years before you flush the water, but initially you're gonna have to flush that water from the cooling loop, or the closed cooling loop. But when that water is flushed out, it's gonna be it's gonna be high in radiation due to the surface.
Yeah.
So where does that water go? It goes into. I mean, just think about. Yeah, I mean, where does the water go?
And Missouri is full of fresh
Yeah.
water. We don't want to mess our fresh water
Oh.
up in Missouri.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Why don't they build these things in Antarctica with nuclear
great-
reactors?
That's a great point.
I don't like, why are they building it on top of us where people are
That's a good
living?
point.
Antarctica is pretty cold. It's pretty stable.
Me-
It's not like there's crazy, or you know what I mean? They have bases down there. We
Well, no-
can build these things down there.
Yeah, well, no matter
Yeah,
where you
but-
put them, there's going to be a problem. Eventually, there's going to be a.
Yeah,
major
eventually,
problem.
I
So-
do agree.
Let me ask you this: so, when did this all come about? As far as when the main push for the data centers become to be? Is that a few years ago, or a recent thing as of now?
I think, I don't really know how. Data centers have been built quite a few years ago, but I think recently,
Okay.
I think it's been after this big, beautiful bill got passed when it really started
Right.
up getting
Okay.
getting with it.
So let me ask you this: what is the purpose of the data centers? What is their main goal?
Well, you got to be able to run AI. In order to run AI, AI needs a memory bank to pull from to know how to operate. And so, and also it's for all kinds of stuff, for running ads, storing information about you. I
Right.
mean,
That's what I don't like.
and it's
that's what I
also
like.
a surveillance
Right.
state.
Right.
Yeah, a surveillance state. I don't like that.
So,
Building our own
like that.
surveillance
So-
state.
So to back off what you said, she came back with some information on it. She says that the Microsoft data center in Quincy, Washington, Microsoft and the city partnered to create a Quincy Water Reuse Utility, or QWRU. The data center sends its recycled water to a dedicated facility which utilizes 10 distinct treatment systems to clean the industrial wastewater for continuous reuse. So basically, they're reusing it after they filter it out. So they're not really
So they're flushing the system, but the water's not getting dumped somewhere. They're
correct,
reusing it.
and they're reusing it. Correct.
Yeah.
And then where are they going to be dumping that radiation that gets filtered out of the water?
Yeah, that's the whole other problem. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
So
yeah,
let me give you
wow.
this. So you mentioned this the collection of all data, the surveillance part of it. So I don't know if you remember who's into James Bond.
I used
Anybody
to be
here?
back in. It's been a
Yeah,
long
I'm
time.
back. Yeah, back in the day.
Okay, so there was a one, I believe it was in 2015, Spectre. Spectre. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
recall that, but Spectre had to do with Spectre's aim was to control the global surveillance through a program called Nine Eyes. And
Hmm.
so the thing it was also had to do with the construction of data centers, which is essential for the program's effectiveness and reach. And so if you recall that it was a inter global thing where these countries would get together to build these in order to make a big net in order to contain everything, to
Hmm.
collect everything that was data. And so that popped into my mind as we were talking about that, got me thinking. That movie popped into my mind because I remember that specifically. And
Right.
so here we are now. And so so my thing is they say what they say without saying what they want to say. And so movies and entertainment is a great way to
Mhm.
do that. And
Right.
so this is back in 2015. And so here we are now with this huge push to put these data centers up. Yes, it's about AI and countries fighting, to get control of that and be the best that there is in that. But there's also that collection of that surveillance, if you will.
Yeah, they definitely use
Yeah.
movies to tell truth
Yeah.
through lies.
Yeah.
Well, that also makes me think of another movie with Tom Cruise. I believe it's called The Minority Report.
Mm.
You guys remember that movie?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was looking at something the other day and I saw that they have the technology where they're actually able to read minds because they know that the brain emits frequency and brain waves, and now they can pick up
Sure.
those brain waves and frequency, and they know what frequency matches with what language pattern, and they can know what you're thinking and what you're saying. So potentially with all these data centers getting built, we're building ourselves the Minority Report to where they can arrest you
Mhm.
for a crime you don't commit that you did in your mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even just, I had to be honest. My wife and I had a debate yesterday. We had a debate.
Right on.
After our debate, a couple hours later, I look on Facebook and it had all type of stuff about husband and wives need to do
Yes.
this and need to do
Yes.
that. And I'm
Listening
like,
to you,
yeah.
man.
I'm
don't-
like,
don't
Yeah.
what
get
in
me
the
started on
world?
that
Yeah.
shit.
So there's a Minority Report. There's a
Yep.
Minority Report. You know what? I hate
Absolutely.
or I hate this. I hate that. And then sure enough,
Right.
so many words that are triggered go into a file, and then now you're being looked upon, and now they can say, you know
That's
what,
right.
Mr. Mackey is leaving, going over here. He's going to do this. So I mean, it
That's
makes
right.
sense. But why do we want
Well,
to go through that?
I don't.
Why will we not stand on it right now and be like, "F this, I'm done. I'm going to do whatever I can to prevent this." Period. Because I don't want my kids to be taking a shot. I mean, that's crazy. I was sitting in my garage the other day and I realized me and my wife, we was in the garage just talking, and I'm like, I got a camera in my car. That's a rear view. Remember, not rear view, but it's the back camera that's by my back license plate. I'm being recorded right now through our conversation.
Oh yeah.
I'm being recorded right now. So there's cameras everywhere. We have cameras on our home and things to protect us. They're recording us. Cameras on our vehicle, cameras on our phone, cameras on our laptop. We're already in it. We can't do
Yeah,
no
we'll
wrong.
keep
The
this
one
in
thing
mind.
I have not gone and the one thing I have not done yet is a security camera at home. I haven't done it.
But your neighbors got one. If neighbors got one, they got it on.
Yeah,
you.
I know. It's
Yeah.
just in my mind. I'm just like, if it's connected to the internet, I'm like, they can watch me.
Oh
Like,
yes.
like you know what I mean. And so I just haven't been able to do that. And I know like insurance keeps on asking me to do it because you get a discount if you put up cameras.
Oh yeah.
And that's how they do it, man. That's how they get
do
you.
it.
They get you
That's
through,
so
Well,
through
true.
that.
It's the same
mean,
thing
look
with the traffic lights as well too. Now you got them positioned strategically, those cameras at so many intersections, so you're not getting out of the loop, if you will. Well, you think, well, okay, there's a camera there, so I'm gonna take this street. Well, then you go down that street. Well, guess what? There's a camera there as well too.
Yes.
So it's yeah.
Hey, I'm
They
not a
got you.
religious person, but at the end of the Bible, it does say, "Run for the hills in the end times."
Yeah.
You
I mean-
you won't be able to escape it if you want to be part of society. You're gonna be surveilled. There's no way around it.
Sure.
I'm going with Enoch. I'm going to the edge of Antarctica, and so I'm going to the edge of Antarctica, and I'm chilling there. Forget that,
I'm coming with you guys. dang it.
That's it.
thing
I'm
is,
trying to tell you.
I have a lot of fear for the technology being used and implemented right now. and what it could be used for. But at the same time, I can also see the potential of how it could be used for good and how amazing lives could be improved in the world. But that all depends on how we use it.
Well, it has to be in the right hands, and it has
Yeah.
to be used for good. And
It'll never
so
be in the right
now-
hands. So that's the
No,
problem.
never, never.
That's
I
It'll
have
never
hope,
be in
though.
the right hands.
I mean, I do have
That's
hope in
right.
humanity. I mean, it's
I do
always
as
a
well, too.
struggle.
Nicole,
I-
that is a
I
really
don't.
good movie. If you get a chance to rent it on Prime, it's a really good movie. Just
What is it called?
Yeah, I don't have.
it's called
faith in humanity.
Mercy.
Oh yeah.
so-
With
so-
what's that guy's name? Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt in it. Yeah, it's actually a really good movie. She said there is a movie coming out where the judge is AI, and you have 30 seconds to 30 minutes is actually
Oh,
what she
I
means to prove
watched
your
that.
innocence.
That's
It's actually a
Yes, that
really
was
good
good.
movie.
That was
Um,
good.
Wow.
It actually had a good
it's
ending.
really good movie. It actually really did.
Mhm.
It
Most
really did.
movies today suck with their endings,
Yeah.
but they did a
Right.
good job with this one.
So
Yeah.
so back to the camera conversation. I mean, look at Tesla. Tesla, even if it's parked and turned off, you walk near it, it automatically activates a 360 view of your
Mhm.
vehicle.
Wow.
That automatically gets uploaded to the motherboard of that Tesla that can
Mhm.
be reviewed at any point in time,
Yes.
and it holds
Yes.
for I think 10 years or something like that. Like
Yeah.
so,
Mhm.
No
where's that
privacy.
where's that information going? You know, for
Yeah.
10 years. I
Well,
mean, what?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with your phone as well too. With your
Oh, yeah.
maps, you can turn it off. It's
Mhm.
the same thing.
Oh yeah,
It's going
100%.
to-
And yeah,
It
Mackey's
knows where
saying
you are.
you know your phone is constantly listening. You see it. Listen, come ride a
Yes.
shift with me. See what your phone says after that. Come
Yeah.
Right.
12-hour
Yeah.
shift on the screw.
Yeah.
And see what pops up on your phone page.
Did you guys
Oh, man.
did you guys hear what the supposedly they passed the law for vehicles being built 2027 going forward in America?
No.
What about them?
But they,
That apparently this has already passed and it has I looked it up and it has passed that there's going to be metrics and instruments installed to measure your heart rate, breathing rate, cameras behind the steering
wow.
wheel. And so if they deem that you're not fit to drive, they won't allow you to start your vehicle.
Wow.
So think of like this. Say you're a woman and you're a city and you are walking to your car and all of a sudden a group of 3 guys pass you and you're about to get raped, right? So you run into your car. You're frantic. You're afraid. You finally get in the car and it won't start because you're not fit to drive.
Just your elevated heart rate or whatever. it
Yes,
takes. Wow.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
that is complete control, man. A
Mhm.
vehicle is supposed to represent, like having a horse in the old time represents freedom. You can get up and go somewhere, right? A
Right.
vehicle represents freedom. Remember 16 when you got that license?
Mhm.
You had that freedom. Oh, I can do anything with my car.
Right. Yeah.
Completely gone. No freedom. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny you brought that up because I even read some about seedless fruit. The reason why they're producing seedless fruit is because now you can't go regrow that fruit. So over time, they can start controlling your food and saying, well, we're only going to give you a rations of, 2 apples and this or whatever the case may be, because the only people who would have gardens would be the rich people because
Monsanto.
they'll have Monsanto. Absolutely. So, I mean, we're going into a serious, very controlling, new journey. And like I said, I don't understand why we're not doing more about it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we're comfortable, but how comfortable can you be being watched?
I mean,
The problem though is 90% of the population don't even think about that anymore.
They don't care.
They're-
You're right.
They don't care. They're just here
No,
for
they
the
don't.
flow. And no matter how much our generation is going to read into it and want to change it, in the end, we're going to have no effect because our generation and our way of thinking is pretty much a dying breed. No offense to anyone in here, but it is. We've got just our how we live now and the how they're growing up and the thought processes they have. It's just going to get worse. The power is going to get stronger for the government, and it's just never going to stop, in my opinion.
there is a way to
listen,
change
and
it.
to add to that, and so you add on the hardships of life as well. They keep your mind not focused on the positivity. You have to think about what's coming next because you need money, and money is what makes things go. Unfortunately, now it's not the end all be all. You can break that thought process and to realize it's just a tool. But most folks don't think like that. It's like, I gotta have the money to survive. So we're not thinking about to everything that we're talking about. They're not focused on that. Nor will they be.
You know, King RP, what you said is it's about money. And that's how we make change, and how change is implemented, and how it's like when we go through our history books we're reading, change happens with wealth. And so if we want to make change and we want to implement these things that we talk about, we have to be the ones to make the money to be able to make an impact. That's the only way to do change.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, though. I mean, you start thinking about, you know, it's kind of like the Martin Luther King effect, right? You know, you had somebody who stood on civil rights and this and this and this, and then they invite you to a party, Chris. They invite you to the party. The governors, presidents there, and they're like, "Hey, man, go in this room, bro. You're doing good. Hey, man, we love Chris. We love what you're doing, brother." They got a pile of cocaine, right? They need you to snort that. I mean, honestly, I mean, you think about it,
Yeah,
or they
right,
need you to have an
right.
orgy with these women over here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and you can't leave and do anything unless you do these things. So once you get
Right.
that money and a sense of power, you're not going to use it the way that it. And I'm not saying you in general, because I do know Christopher. I think he would. I believe he would. But majority of the people are not going to use that power to make change, because the power is theirs now. The opportunity is theirs, and then now you could be blackmailed, because now you would lose your wife and your kids and your business and your home, because they could put out so much negative energy or propaganda about you, where you're just a lost soul in a sense, you know. So I
True.
mean, you know, in biblically, not even bringing religion in here, but I think it only takes one. And I'm not saying I believe in the Bible itself, but I believe it only takes one person.
I do.
I believe it
Yeah,
only takes one
100%.
person. There's no
Yeah.
unity, you know. It takes one to stand and make a difference. And then guess what? Just like the Black Panthers or other organizations, if one falls, two need to stand up. If two fall, four need to stand up. Four fall. So if you take out four, eight stand up. Eight stand 16. I mean, it just continues to multiply. You know what I mean? And it's
So
and
it's
it's
like
something.
no, go ahead, King. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
no,
brother.
that was it. I mean, it just needs to be multiplied.
So,
But the
so
problem is when you cut the head off the snake, and mostly like we're dealing with Iran right now, we need to take the example of Iran and run with it. You cut the head off the snake, but then the people themselves are standing on what they believe in. It ain't just their government. The people themselves are like, nah, we're not gonna tolerate this.
Yeah.
You know.
so so let me back off. Let me play off that. So let's ask you a difficult question on that aspect. Then, do you think that the American dream is still achievable
Oh,
in today's economy and mindset that this younger generation has?
Define the American dream.
I mean, the American dream is, if you think about it, we used to be one of the greatest countries in the world with the highest GDP and, education and over the
buying a
last,
house. Yeah.
right. And over the last 50 years, how has that diminished?
Well,
I
you
mean,
know-
look at
Yeah.
look at it.
Taxation, taxes,
Right.
man. We were taxed.
Inflation. Yeah.
Correct.
Inflation.
But so you always have this dream. I mean, you have this dream right now of rely. You think of that. You can achieve it because you're an older generation. But does the newer generation have the same mindset that you do? And in my opinion, they don't, because a lot of these
That mindset
Victim-
of rely was that was built on how my life turned out.
correct, but
There's
it's
still
now
people
becoming
there's
right.
people going through hard things, there's people went through harder things right now than I
But-
went through.
right. What I'm saying though is you've got this generation now of teenagers that are, I'll just say it, they're victims. They're always a victim. There's no accountability anymore. So are they going to be able to do or change anything towards what the American dream used to be, or is it just going to continue to decline?
I believe
Well, I think
so
you
because go ahead.
Well, I think you spoke on earlier when you talk about mindset. It is slipping away, in my opinion, that American dream, and slipping away because that younger generation is focused on other things, and not realizing that there are so many avenues and opportunities out here for you to still to succeed. But if they don't apply themselves to do that and to fight for those opportunities, yes, whatever the powers that be are slowly through money, through other ways, it's what snatching those opportunities away. And we are a dying breed right here. What we're doing right here, right now, is trying to create a path of financial stability, if you will. But we're going for it. but they don't have that mindset and that drive, if you will, to go out there and get that thing. They're being pacified with other things and being coddled in other ways, and not realizing that you have a right, but you got to fight for that right now. It's not no, it's no longer just well, here you go. You got to go get that thing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of that mindset has been taken away from them.
You know, I don't think
Wait.
all the kids are like that in this generation. I mean, in my gym, I mean, I come in contact with a lot of teenagers that are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And then I watch these kids. I mean, I've watched kids get in high school at freshmen, work out of my gym for 4 years. They went off to college and they come back every summer. And these guys are making good decisions. I mean, they're working. I know a couple of them have started a business. I know, like, just off the top of my head, 6 teenagers at my gym that have worked for 4 years at my gym, and they're all running their own business right now. Like, and they're doing hard work. They're starting landscaping businesses. I mean, they're part of the community. They're working. I don't think all these kids are like that. I think actually the younger generation are waking up. And it's
So,
real.
yeah,
I mean, it's up to us to affect them too. These
that's
kids are hungry.
I'm with you on
Sure,
that, Chris.
sure.
We not holding ourselves accountable to the situation, right?
Sure.
We're
Yeah.
not. And I'm with Christopher. Not all these kids are bad. My son's married, works 2 jobs, has his own place. They have their own car. They're doing great. They're doing great. You know what I mean? But he's only doing great due to my footsteps, because
Yeah.
of the footsteps that I have laid out before him. You see what I'm saying? And then when it comes to that too, is that, you know, we need to, you know, you talked about having a business. Here's the thing about it. I was telling my wife this the other day. They're trying to wipe out the middle class, right? That's why gas is high. That's why everything is high. You're going to either be poor or rich. And those are the only choices you're going to have. And if the people who have their own business right now can't afford it, then they're going to end up being poor. And the ones who can succeed and get it together will end up being rich, because there will not be a middle class. That's what I see right now. So when we talk about a business, gas is up, insurance is up, vehicles are up, homes are up, mortgage rates are up. I mean, loans to even get a business are up. Like, we get 10 calls a day about borrow 150,000. We'll give you 100,000, but the interest rate is ridiculous.
Through the roof.
Even with great credit, even with good business, experience, even with, over 50K per month going into my bank account when it comes monthly, it doesn't matter. Everything is up. So my thing is, even though if you're striving to have a business, man, it better be something very lucrative. But at the same time, to me, a podcast, what we're doing is very low overhead. We cost maybe $1,000 to get in, get your computer, get your camera, get your microphone, and voice your opinion. Is a safer business to me than getting out here and trying to mow lawns in a hot sun with gas up, with equipment up, with everything up, because it's going to be hard to survive, and especially being a new person into the world and trying to start a business, unless you got myself or Chris or Nick or RP trying to explain things to you. But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult.
So hold on. Let me interject right here, because this
Do it.
ties in perfectly to the world question. This ties in perfectly to the world question. It's from King Mac. Looking at where you are in life today, what can you guarantee for your children? Looking at where you are in life today, what can you guarantee for your children?
I'm gonna let y'all go with that one.
I can guarantee my child is going to be set up for success in life. She's going to have confidence. My daughter's already proved that. They already well ahead of me in that area in their life, and they're very young still. I think my kids are going to turn out well, but that's because me and their mother. I'm not letting the world shape my kid. I'm teaching my kid about the world, and my kid's going to experience the world, but my children will be able to handle the world.
That's right. And for my children, I'm not just a parent. I am also down in the trenches with them as they're growing up, if you will. I got all different ages, and so I wear many different hats and have to be psychologically different at all times, because they're all different people. They're all at different stages of their lives. And so, they do amaze me, because when I think they're not paying attention, they do something that lets me know, okay, I understand what you're saying, Dad. I understand what you're saying, because I feel like sometimes I'm just beating myself against the wall. And I hope that they see, that I'm laying the blueprint, if you will, for them on how to go out there and to succeed. It's not easy. It's not.
No.
Daddy does a lot of stuff. Daddy's half sleep half the time. However, that is part of that sacrifice that comes along with that. And I hope that they see that, guarantee, that's a tough one. I'm not gonna guarantee, but I can guarantee if you give your best, you give yourself a best shot at succeeding in anything that you do.
100%, brother.
Yeah,
100%.
I feel you on that. Nick, you want to roll?
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, I think through what I've learned in my life and, my children going through their struggles and teaching them how to deal with it. And I do think they're gonna succeed with the foundation. I won't ever give them anything. They need to learn the hard way on things. I absolutely believe that. But in the long run, if they fail, I mean, I'm still going to be there to pick them up, but I'm gonna put them right back on the path that they should be on and continue to grow in a positive manner, to be a positive member of the community and succeed in their life. But I think through my experiences and what I've learned, and especially the job I'm in, like I'm definitely going to be able to relay that to them. And I believe I have. I mean, I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. So, I mean, they're pretty much grown as it is anyway.
Right. Yeah. So that's good. That was great, you guys. That came to me, and I had to change the question up a little bit. It was really that if you died today, what are you going to be guaranteed to your kids? Because I know we're not
paid.
in that. Yeah,
they're paid.
Right. And that's why I left the dying part out, because I knew most of us had life insurance.
Right,
They're gonna be good. They're gonna
right.
be
They're gonna be
good.
set. Exactly. 100%.
I wanted us to think a little bit more emotionally based, or foundationally based when it comes to basics. I'm with all you guys. It to this point in our life, it's a foundation that we presented to them, right? Whether that's integrity, communication, compassion, love, whatever the case may be, we've given them the foundation of life to embark on, to have a successful relationship, possibly a business, family, all that. You know what I mean? And so I'm with you guys. I mean, what I guarantee is the foundation of life. You know what I mean? They can understand. My son, he's been older. He negotiates. He's married now. So, hey, Dad, what about this? What about that? You learn to negotiate with your wife. You take care of your wife. You show compassion, love, So I'm with you guys on that. I think everybody has some really good, really great answers on that. But yeah, that was something to think about.
Yeah, man.
Let's piggyback off that life insurance. I mean, how
guaranteed is that?
Right.
Is it really guaranteed?
Exactly.
I mean, there's lots of loopholes.
Right.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what I'm
It
saying.
really
I mean,
is.
and in a sense, you're worth more dead than you are alive anymore. But I mean, is it guaranteed? No. In my opinion, no. I mean, most people sign them contracts and don't even know what half of it means.
Don't even know
like that.
No.
They see that $1 million. Hey, my kids are going to get $1 million.
Yes.
They sign their name, and then there's a clause in there like, okay, if you died before 35, you're screwed. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Yeah, you get stuck by a rusty nail. That don't count.
Right.
That's suicide.
Right. Yeah. You should have went and got your tetanus shot 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
That's real talk, though. That's real talk.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that fine print that kills.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of that, I was trying to make a deal with Coke at the gym. I was going to bring in like Monsters and Red Bull for the cooler. And they sent me this, all the paperwork they wanted me to sign to be partner with them. So I took that agreement and I put it in my ChatGPT and had it read it for me. And I said, pull out anything that will harm my business. And I don't think a lot of people know this is what Coke is putting in this agreement. In the agreement, it said, it told me not to sign it. He said, this agreement is set up for Coke to own rights in your business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I ain't going to sign that. And I texted him back and I said, I ain't going to sign this, guys. I said, all I want to do is buy some bottles of drinks from you guys and sell it.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not signing rights to my business to you. You don't own anything here. You're just a wholesaler. And guys and then the guy he called me back. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. None of that's implemented. You just got to sign it.
Yeah, of course.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro. I said, I'm not the guy down the road that's selling the alcohol at the bar where I have to have you. I'm like,
Right.
I ain't signing that crap. And so,
Wow.
so I
Wow.
can't, and now, so I can't get Monster because Monster distributes only through Coke now. And then Red Bull doesn't distribute to our area. I have to go through a
wow.
distributor, and none of
Right.
the distributors will come to me unless I go through Coke, and that's
Wow.
Lake Ozark. Yeah,
Mm,
I was like, I ain't signing that, man.
Yeah.
Monopolizing though. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
I mean, who's bigger
Oh,
than
yeah.
Coke? I mean, that's the thing about it too. You know, here's my thing as well, man. In order, and I don't know all the specifications on this, but I mean, if there was a huge class action lawsuit against these major corporations, the American people against the corporations. Now I know they have attorneys that do this and do that, but at the same time, and if you had attorneys that were willing to stand with us on this, and we do a massive, lawsuit against corporations, I think we could win that. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I listened to Don Lemon. I don't know if you heard of Don Lemon. I think he used to work for CNN or something like that, but he got arrested a couple months ago for doing journalism inside of a church, and he interrupted the service. And the DOJ came after him and arrested him a couple of days after that, right?
Yep.
And so his attorney stepped in, and he said they had no reason to do that. He's a journalist. This is what they do. Well, he jumped on the air a couple of days ago and saying how they're prolonging this in court. The DOJ attorneys are prolonging the situation to drain his bank account. So of course he has to have an attorney to get this situated. And if he only has X amount of money in bank account, and you have the DOJ who just prints money when they want to, right? And print it when they so who's going to win that? And so, I mean, I'm kind of answering my own question at the same time with the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, if you build a team, I think if you build a team of attorneys who are volunteering their time into this, and we come to them as American people, because we've lost that. We're no longer we the people. If we notice that.
No,
we're being
people are too selfish,
being trampled
man.
on. Yeah, we're trampled on. I mean, if the government is taking over us completely, we have no voice. We have no rights. I don't care who you are. It ain't a black and white thing. It's a people thing. They don't care about nobody.
It's because people are selfish. And to kind of explain that, you mentioned lawyers. I had back surgery last year in October, and it was for a T-lift. And I went in. They went under the needle to put me under. A couple hours into the surgery, the doctor stopped because he was cutting me with dirty tools.
Oh.
So I had 2 incisions and a stab wound for the screws they were about to install on my lower back. They stopped the procedure. They had to sew me back up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into the whole story, but it was a horrible day. They forced me to stay the night. A whole bunch of things happened. They treated me wrong. I finally got discharged. And I wasn't going to sue them or nothing. I'm just not that type of person. But the doctor lied to me every step of the way and did the hospital. And then when I got out and got discharged, I went back on Columbia MU's health app and looked up the report. And in their report, they put on there that I left the hospital AMA.
Oh my goodness.
And they also put, they put in the report that I left the hospital AMA. They also put in the report that the doctor stopped the surgery before it started due to dirty tools, saying that he never even cut me. And I have proof. I have pictures. I mean, and all that stuff. Like they forced me to stay the night because they were afraid of infection because it was the spine. So that really made me mad. I'm like, well, now they lied. I said, so now I do want to take care of this problem, right? So I did contact like 5 lawyers. None of them, they all told me that they said your case would probably make about 150, 165 grand. They said, but we have too many other cases that will make us 400. So we don't want to do yours.
Yeah.
And then I asked one of the lawyers too. I said, so what if I give you what if I take 0% of the winnings and I give you 100% of the winnings? Which said, would you still, I'm like, I just want to hold these people accountable. I said, so if you can make 150 grand, you can keep all of it. I don't want any of it. Let's just get this right. They still wouldn't do it because it was all about the money. They're like, I can do this one over here because there's so many malpractice cases. And it's not about, these cases are not about holding the doctors and the hospitals accountable. It's about making money.
Money is power, baby.
Yeah.
Money is power.
I'm going through the same thing now. I'm going through litigation with somebody, and I work with 15 different attorneys here in the area. Each one of them I went to pretty much told me it's a conflict of interest. And then when I went outside the area, it was, well, we don't know that judge. We don't. So right now, my wife and I are basically looking up policy procedure books and procedural books on law and trial, and we're doing it ourselves. We're doing it ourselves. I mean, is it a lot of work? It is a lot of memory, a lot of understanding, how to build foundation, how to, present exhibits properly. But you can't depend on nobody but yourself. I think Socrates
This is
actually
true.
said that if you're not doing everything yourself, you're pretty much a fool. Even Dana White came out saying, I would never go to a hospital and talk to a doctor again, or go to the emergency room or whatever, because it's all about just putting people on pills. It's about making the money.
That.
So I mean, we have to take our independence back as individual peoples and do as much as we can on our own, or as a whole, as a collective whole within us, within ourselves.
And also, people need to get back to listening to your own intuition.
Oh my God!
Like, we have a brain. You have a gut that's connected. Like, your body knows what's going on. You are aware.
Yes.
Stop ignoring what your body and what your spirit is telling you, and listen to yourself. If you look at something and you see an ad and you're like, that's illogical,
right?
Don't ignore that and just listen to it because that's what the commercial said or that's what the doctor says.
All right, Kings. For those who are just joining us here on Open Mic, we want to welcome you all to Brothers of Many Words Open Mic. Open Mic, where honest questions become meaningful conversations. And so, you Kings we were chatting last night in the text about the data centers and whatnot, and about how to fight back. So it got me to thinking. There is a thing that's God-given rights, if you will, a natural law, versus what the government dictates what you can and cannot do. But with natural rights, if you will, many moons ago, that's how they lived. They got to live and got to do and choose and eat whatever they wanted, because that was what it was. There was no too much intervention with the government, if you will, that hadn't come into play. But now that we have evolved and moved into something different, things are different. So when we say fight, what are we just fighting? Why not fight for those natural law rights again? Not just for the stop of a data center, but for what is on this earth. What is on this earth? So let me ask you this: can government take what God gave?
He can take that from Robert Pride. But are you Robert Pride, or is this Robert Pride a name that was given to you?
This name that was given to me.
And was that name attached to a number that the government gave you?
Yeah, I understand. I still understand where you're going.
Yeah, so you're not Robert Pride, man. That's just your legal name under the system you're living in. Only way to not be judged by the system is to not be a part of the system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like John Locke. I was reading about John Locke some time back, and John Locke believed that people are born free, learn through experience, and governments existed only to protect natural rights and people's consent. That don't even exist anymore. Don't even exist anymore. I mean, even when you think about child support, I mean, it's crazy. Our government system don't exist anymore. But that's what he believed in, and it
even
no
Rome
exists.
believed in common law.
Yeah, yeah. But that's where the West came in at and dominated that and made people believe other things. But like Christopher said, it's about being comfortable. We give you a house, we give you a car, we're going to give you money in bank account that has no intrinsic value, has no real value, it's not backed up by gold anymore, but we're going to make you believe it has some intrinsic value because all the other countries use it, right? And we want you to depend on that and with your whole world. Most people have $56,000 in their savings account and it just sits there. It might collect some type of interest if you do a high yield savings account, right? But people don't start taking that money and spreading it to different locations, to property or into gold or to silver or into put money into other countries, into land and things like that. We just believe in the value of this American dream, right? That no longer exists.
Yep.
It no longer exists.
Okay.
And that's what these data centers are about. It's about expanding and growing the system, making the system bigger to where it's almost impossible to get out of it.
I do agree.
So let me ask you this. Are rights born from law or from nature?
Nature.
Nature. That's what we got away from. We no longer accept nature as a true value of who we are. We deny nature on an everyday basis. Yes.
Christopher Wilkins is a fictitious name. That's not, but this meat suit is part of nature.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. That's
Should the-
why when you look
should-
into medicine and pharmaceuticals, it's majority nature. I was talking to Nick the other day, telling him about Rogaine. Rogaine is 75% rosemary oil. It makes that rosemary makes your hair grow in general, but they rename it like they always do. They
Because you
rename
can't
it.
patent nature.
You
Right.
can patent nature. You know,
And
you
that's
talked
why
about-
that's why psychedelics are illegal.
right,
It's not because they're bad. It's because they can't patent a psychedelic.
right. Yes,
Mhm.
you
That's
can't
why.
make money off of it. Yeah.
That's why marijuana and another thing you can't patent
just get ready to
marijuana.
say. I
Mhm.
was just get ready to say that's why.
I mean, all the natural things you can't patent it, so they have to make a synthetic version of it so they can sell it to you, and then they have a patent under this fake system that we all believe.
Yes.
Well, because it's
Yes.
patent, that means it's real and it's going to work.
No,
hmm
no,
hmm
no.
So what should be the role of government? Should they protect the rights or should they define them?
Yeah, protect the rights of nature.
Protect.
Like he said it best. He said the government
Exactly.
exists only to protect natural rights with people's consent.
100%.
With people's consent.
hmm
I think that's we should follow by that, but we're not. I
And
mean,
I think that-
we're too far gone. We're too
And I-
far gone.
And I think it's
Nick's
really
got something to say. Nick's got something to say. I hear
I'm
it on your
good.
face.
Say it, Nick.
I'm
Say it,
good.
Nick.
All
Say it,
right,
Nick.
Come on.
good. I'm good.
No, we open mic. You got to say it, brother. Come on with it.
I'm good.
it's only
No,
the
come on.
governments that are
We could
causing
go
the
down a
wars.
rabbit hole here.
Us people wouldn't really fight each other. I don't
True.
think
Yeah.
I think most people wouldn't fight each other. Most people work together. That's why we have community. But it's the people that wants to be in charge and then establish a government. And then all of a sudden they manipulate people with words to think they
Mhm.
need to follow them now. Like, I know the
Mhm.
way, so I'll take care of you.
Yes.
And then,
Yeah.
now we have these big government entities.
Oh yeah.
King
Nick, open your mouth, man. Let me hear
Yes,
it.
man. I can say it, brother. Let's go down that rabbit hole. That's why we here. I was just ready to get on you too. Come on. Come on.
Listen, y'all got me sweating over here. So, like, I get what you're saying, Chris. I really do. But in the grander scheme of things, it's not just about government. I mean, you've got all these people in the community that aren't a part of the government that want to fit their own agenda, and in the long run, you're not only fighting a community or the government at that point in time, you're fighting a community member,
Yeah,
or you're fighting
sure
someone
do.
within your neighbor constantly with that. And I get what you're saying by, we're just a number and a meat suit of you, but at the same time, if we don't have that structure, in my profession, I have no way to hold you accountable for anything that you do. So in the long run, sovereign citizens. We'll talk about that. Okay.
Oh,
Sovereign
my
citizens,
gosh.
Okay. All right. See,
Yeah.
this is why you got me all sweating. All right. Okay. You got the sovereign citizens out here that don't apply. Don't believe they have to have driver's license, register vehicles, pay taxes, all this other stuff. There's a whole big. It's really big right now, and they go off of what's the 15th Amendment. Okay. In the 15th Amendment, U.S. Penal Code 16 through 17A states, the freedom of travel. Okay. But if you read that in the context that they take it is completely wrong. Yes, it says you have freedom of movement, but they are changing the agenda to say, well, that's my right in the Constitution to be able to do that. No, that's not how it's read. If you read it properly in the Constitution, it just says, hey,
You sound like the
can go
government.
wherever you want. I am the government. That's why. Like, listen. So my thing is if you don't believe that it's just your flesh and bone, then how am I or anybody how do you hold you accountable if you do something wrong?
Mhm.
Do you want someone randomly on the street to handle that business, or do you want the actual judicial system where you're able to fight and be able to try to prove your innocence and take that chance? Or do you want someone coming, you're guilty, get out, we're going to go hang you in the middle of the street? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I think our judicial system was about
It's
about
already
money.
broken.
It's about
You-
money.
you already
It
know
is-
that.
It is
You-
broken. But
that's a whole
right
other
to travel.
conversation.
And,
Yeah,
and
the right
cops
to
do
travel
think they have
was
too
meant.
much power.
Yeah, the right to travel was necessary. I mean, don't be. I
It
looked
is.
into the sovereign citizen thing a long
Yeah.
time ago, and you're not required to. Like right now, they say do not give your social security number out. How many applications or jobs
Oh,
or
yeah.
businesses do they ask?
Yes,
and then if
everything.
you don't give it, you don't get the job. You don't get the car. You don't do this.
Absolutely.
So who's wrong? Is the company that's asking for information wrong, right? Or is our government that tells us don't do that, or whatever entity tells us not to do that? Are they wrong? You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we
So let me ask
we
you
need
this.
to go back to our common and natural laws. We should.
I
That's
mean,
right. So when
it's. I wanted to say something real quick about the traffic,
go
the
ahead, go ahead,
sovereign
bro.
citizen.
Go ahead, bro.
And like, no, I understand where you're coming from as a police officer. Like, we have rule and law, but our Constitution is about freedom, and our government is only there to protect.
Contradicting.
It's contradicting. The
Mhm.
the government only exists to protect the freedom, not to take away our liberty. Travel is something that's required, and if the government decides to put a bunch of, I never voted for a road to get put in, but I was born and roads were already there. Okay. So like now I have to use roads to travel because they are everywhere. I'm not the one, I didn't ask for them, right? But I was born
Mhm.
into this system. Me
Right.
as a
And
sovereign
while-
citizen, you know, like I get it. Like
Oh, we can
people
go
gonna
on
use
all
the
this.
road.
We ain't going all day
Listen.
about this.
Listen.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting ready to ask. So let me ask you this. So we speaking on law. So when law conflicts with conscience, which wins?
Oh, the law. Yeah.
The,
no
the
doubt.
law always wins.
Mhm.
But if you look at Mackie will understand a lot about discretion. Okay. There is law, but we have discretion over 90%. I'll say 95% of what law enforcement does. We have discretion.
Right.
Our departments can't. So just as an example, everyone always thinks there's quotas. Everyone hears this, oh, there's quotas. So that's highly illegal. You'll actually lose your department in all federal funding.
Right.
If
Right.
a police department says
Right.
you need to go do XYZ, you need to go stop and write this many tickets. Okay. So officers have a lot of discretion. There are some things that we don't like when it comes to domestic violence. Okay. We don't have, that's a shall. Okay. We shall handle that business. Insurance is another one for like on a traffic stop. We have to write that ticket. Okay. Because we got to make sure that if that person kills someone on a road and in a motor vehicle accident, they are covered. Okay. And then it's just, they get that compensation. But the other 90, what do we have right now? I think we have 839 laws in our Missouri Blue Book right now, and probably 5 of them say shall. If it has that shall word in it, our hands are bound. We have to take care of it. But the other 851 of them, we can do whatever we want. If we don't want to take them to jail, we don't want to write that ticket, we don't have to do that. So you have to outweigh that. That's where the conscience comes in. Like our conscience as a law enforcement and not being on a power trip and being able to handle yourself in a respectful manner with the community. That's how you build your rapport. That's how you get that positive impact with your community instead of having that power trip saying, you know what, you screwed up. You admitted it. You rolled that stop sign. Hey, you got into a bar fight. You're drunk, whatever. Go home, sleep it off. You're going to feel bad tomorrow, but let's handle it that way. And I've learned that over 15 years on how to talk to people. You know, when I was younger, I fought everyone. I didn't care. When I rolled up to a scene, I was fighting victims, suspects, witnesses, you name it. I was fighting everybody, you know. But after 15 years, I'm like, I don't recover like I used to. I don't want to fight. Like, let's figure this out. And that's the problem in policing today. They don't teach that anymore. We got a couple new guys out of the academy that don't know what verbal judo is. And verbal judo is a baseline of what we do. You can take someone from here to here by just listening. 90% of the people want to be heard.
And you're so right, brother. And
Absolutely.
you are non-typical. Like I've had a few recent new officers that I know of. One of them is actually a highway patrol officer, and I spoke with him at the gym, and he told me, he was like, he said he's a a zero tolerance officer. He said this kid's like 21 years old. And so not much life experience. And he was like, you break the law, I'm arresting you to the fullest extent. He's like, there's no discretion. I'm like, and I told him, I said, that's not a way to be an officer, brother. I said, people are human beings just like you. I said, I guarantee you broke the law and already committed a felony by now. And you're a highway patrol officer. There's probably laws that you broke and you don't even know you have, man. And when you were 18 being dumb, you think that person deserves to be arrested and his life ruined because they made a mistake? Like, come on. Like, obviously, if you find a guy that's been drunk driving, you pull him over, and you find out this is his 6th DWI, that's a different story.
Right. Hey, Nick. So now that you got some skins on the wall, and you mentioned the word "shall" in those laws, versus the other laws, which gives the officer to use their own
Discretion.
judgment,
Yep.
if you will. So, Do you think there should be more laws that say shall to keep their conscience out of it, their own judgment, or should they be left alone? Because as you
No,
said, shall
I,
means
I,
you're bound by that.
I think there's not. I think that the officer, through their investigation, should be able to make it. The more shalls you have, our
Mhm.
prison systems are going to become more overly populated than what they already are.
Okay.
The
Mhm.
the court system is going to be overwhelmed. The probation and parole is going to be overwhelmed, and it's already a broken system. I mean,
Mhm.
back to like we were talking about, I believe 100% probation and parole is set up for failure. Like, they are not out here to help you get better and make sure you walk that 5 years of probation. It's not. It is a failure system, and I mean, do I have to abide by, someone on PNP? Absolutely. They have certain stuff they got to do, and I've got to be able to perform them. But I think adding
Right.
shall into more laws is just going to make the judicial system decline more than what it already has over the past 25 years.
I'm with you. And I worked at a maximum security prison for 2 years, and the biggest thing I learned is about 70% of the guys in there didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
70% of the guys that was in that prison did not deserve to be there.
Yeah, but this to me, this is
There was no
something that's
victim in
been
their
played
crime.
on us. Yeah, this has been played on us. Like when I grew up, we had McGrubb. We had certain police would come to the school and get in the neighborhood and hoot with you, play football. We no longer do that. We no longer do that. We don't normally look to connect with the community to build some type of balance, right?
Yeah.
Even when I went to the police academy, I learned a lot of case law that I didn't know, right? That I did know. Why at 18 years old, at 16 years old, we don't have case law classes for new drivers coming onto the road, so they have a better understanding of what they can and cannot do. The officer pulls you over, roll your window down, show them your ID, keep your hands visible, because it's about safety. It's about public safety and officer safety, right? Those are at least one or two main factors, but we don't know. We don't do that. So we're subject to ignorance, right? Because if we don't look into it ourselves, we don't know. But again, if the system was built to support greatness, there would be greatness that would be inbound. But it's not.
Absolutely.
It's
That's a
not.
great
It's not
point.
built for greatness. It's built for destruction and chaos. And then whatever they can live and get funds off of that, they'll do that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to
right.
officer discretion, I'm with Christopher. I mean, I'm with Nick. I'm with you. Pulling people over, man, I always gonna make people feel good, regardless of what they're gonna try to do to me. I want to give a good experience for people. I want to be positive. I don't want to be that cop to be known that, well, every time you see him, he's gonna do some crazy stuff. I don't want to be known for that. I want to be known, Mr. Mack is a cool guy. Now, if you do something above the law, he gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're cordial and respectful and it's an accident and you both and he can see that perception on that, then he's gonna let it go. But he's gonna give you a warning, but he's gonna let it go. But yeah, you're right. We don't have cops like that. We don't.
I love that you brought up case law, and I'm gonna touch on that just a little bit, if you don't mind, real quick.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, brother.
so I am a canine officer. For everyone that's watching, the canine officer is probably one of the most highly educated. I'm not trying to brag on myself. Highly
I do agree.
educated law enforcement personnel. We have to memorize so many case law when it comes to search and seizure and your Fourth Amendment and your First Amendment, and you have to memorize that. So you go through 9 months of 5 days a week of just learning all these Pennsylvania versus Mims, Jardines versus Florida.
Yes.
I mean, I can go over all this. I honestly believe when it comes to getting your driver's license, you should know the bare minimum. I mean, Pennsylvania versus Mims says it's very black and white. Basically, I won't give you the whole synopsis. I can recite the 3-page if you want, but I'm not going to, because we'll be here all day. But it basically says when an officer asks you to step out of the vehicle, you're required to do so. And there's a lot of people that don't know that. They want to argue.
No.
Well, why? Well, Pennsylvania versus Mims says you get 3 chances. You are asked to step out. You're told to step out, and then I'm going to make you come out. That is something these younger generations don't understand.
They don't know.
Yeah, right. And then
I will have. I mean, when it comes, I've had an experience here at the lake, man, and I disagree with that. Just because an officer tells me to get out of the vehicle, you have to have a good enough reason. You are not above me.
And I get that. So I understand that. But when you go to Pennsylvania versus Mims, if there's any indication that an officer feels unsafe or believes there is something else going on, to make him to have a safer. That is why. That is why. It's not just because.
Yeah, it's officer safety. It's
Yeah,
officer
it's
safety.
officer
And public
safety is
safety.
what it boils
And
down-
public safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The car stop is the most dangerous thing we do in this job. Okay.
Yeah.
When we walk up to that car, we don't know if you have a warrant. We don't know if you're wanted for murder. We don't know if you have a gun. We don't have all this stuff comes into play. Okay. But if you start giving pushback, what are we going to do? You're setting our alert completely up to here. That's why Pennsylvania versus Mims was enacted, was because there was problems with not knowing what was on the vehicle. And then, you've got a car is a deadly weapon in the end. I mean, a car is a very deadly weapon to the officer,
Anything could be
the public. Right. Correct.
Mhm.
But yeah. So, we do have
You want me to
someone
tell
in
my
there-
story I'm talking about so you kind of have my
absolutely.
perspective? So this happened when I was a trash man and I was working in Jeff City and I had to get up at 2 a.m. To drive all of Jeff City to work 12 to 14 hours a day. 2 o'clock in the morning, I just get off. I just turn off my road. It's 2:30, and I just get on the Niagara Bridge, right, going towards Camden. And on the Niagara Bridge, I'm probably going about 35, 40 mile an hour. And there's this truck that's behind me riding my ass with his brights on, right? And we're the only ones on the road. So I slow down thinking he'll just pass me, right, because he wants to go faster. He doesn't. He slows down with me, right? And so then I start slowing down even more, and I get over. I start to kind of pull over, and red police lights. He turns his police lights on in a siren.
Wow.
Okay, so I pull over, and we're on the bridge. This is like 2:30 in the morning. He stops 100 yards behind me. Okay. And so I'm sitting there in my car waiting with my hazards on. 5 minutes pass. No cop comes to my window. So I get out of my car and I start walking towards his car. As soon as I start walking towards his car, he gets it out and yells at me, "Get the F, get the F back in your car. Get in your effing car." I'm like, you pulled me over. It's been 5 minutes and you're 100 yards away from me. I'm like, I can't even see your car to know if you're a cop, right? So anyways, I get back in my car. Another 5 minutes pass, and then 2 county cops, I see them come flying down that road, and one pulls in behind me, and another cop car cuts me off and pulls up in front of me, right? And they both get out, run towards my car, and telling me to get out. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car now. And I'm like, what's going on? I said, that guy pulled me over. And they're like, you have to get out of your car right now. So like, okay, I get out of the car. And I asked the officers, I said, why is that officer not talking to me? He's the one that pulled me over. I said, you guys just showed up 10 minutes after after he pulled me over. And they're like, don't worry about that, sir. And I said, no, I am worried about it. And they're like, no, we need to conduct a field sobriety test on you. I'm like, you think I'm drunk right now in my work uniform? I'm like, I work in Jeff City as a trash man trying to get to work. They're like, no, you need to do this right now. And I stopped and I looked at the cops. I was like, I am not doing this. I said, no, you have my ID. You have my insurance card. Everything here is legal. I am physically cognitive. And I said, that's the officer that pulled me over. So right now, I'm not talking to anybody unless he comes to my window. Because you guys did not pull me over. You showed up 10 minutes later, and now you're trying to do all this crazy stuff. Turns out the guy that pulled me over was a volunteer firefighter who had illegal police siren and illegal police lights. He pulled me over because he thought I was drunk. Now, he had a power trip because I slowed down, and he just pulled me over for some reason. And then the cops just showed up, and they were trying to make up a situation.
Oh, wow.
And I have 5 other scenarios I can explain
wow.
to you that's happened in this area. Now, I still support my cops, and Nick knows that. But I've only had one good experience with cops here.
Oh, wow. That's
but
crazy all by itself. Now, he wasn't a law enforcement officer.
Right.
Yeah. And like it did, like, so it's from my perspective and point of view with cops, they're dangerous and they have too much power. I'm not saying every cop's like that. That's just my experience. And so I have a hard time listening just to cop just because he tells me to. I'm like, no, I am a sovereign citizen. You have to give me a good reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kings, we gonna stop that right there. We gonna switch gears. Hey, that was a great conversation. We'll pick up on that.
We did have someone chime in when Chris was talking about the jail. She says
Go ahead.
part of the problem is that you're connecting people who don't deserve to be in jail with people who arrested them, and not the judicial system when it comes to the incarceration aspect of it.
I don't believe a person that has committed a crime there was no victim in that crime should be in jail. There's no reason for it. That's just my opinion. If there's no victim with the crime you committed, there's no reason for you to be locked up like an animal. I believe in community service.
I hear you.
Like, for example, a guy is you have a couple joints in your back seat. Cop pulls you over. Yep, illegal. Smoking marijuana is illegal. Okay. So, but you go to jail now because you had possession. You're not a dealer. You were just smoking it. You could have been actually a really good person, right? Now you're in jail for 5-10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That's happened a lot.
Okay, so what about the more dangerous drugs then? You're okay with them not being a victim? So I pull someone over for heroin.
I believe that all drugs should be legal. It's an opinion that most people don't like. But I believe people should have options and people should be able to decide. And then if you happen to be on a drug and you make a crime on that drug, then you should be arrested.
For those who are just joining us, welcome to Brothers Community Open Mic. Woman, it's suck of the day. Hey, open mic is where honest questions become meaningful conversation. I tell you, we're gonna hold them thoughts to next week. We're gonna hold them to next week. That's good. It's good. Right now, we're gonna move on to rapid fire questions. Rapid fire questions.
Rock and roll.
30 seconds. One at a time. King Mac, we'll start with you, and then we'll just go around like that, brother. Okay,
All
here we go. First question. What was one of your nicknames? Growing up, what was one of your nicknames?
Ladies man.
Narms.
All right.
Norms.
Scrappy.
Norms? Scrappy. Mine was
That's
Peanut.
Peanut.
Okay, that's good. Question number 2. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to?
Haru.
If you had to change Haru, there
Yep.
you go.
David.
What you got?
David.
That is the name I give. I give name when anyone asks for my name, like at a restaurant. It's always David. I don't know why. It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh my goodness.
You guys are gonna make fun of me, but it's Azrael.
Azrael.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Azrael. Yes. Mine would be Ronin. There's a movie Ronin with
Oh yeah, Ronin.
with, yeah, I love that name. I was gonna name
Tom
my
Cruise?
son
Was it
that
Tom
name
Cruise?
Ronin.
No. Keanu Reeves,
No, it
right?
was,
Keanu Reeves.
No, it was no, what's his name? Golly, Robert De Niro. It's Ronin's name. Good movie.
Robert
Good
De
movie,
Niro.
Ronin. But,
Okay.
Okay.
you check it out, man. But I was definitely gonna name him that. Okay. Question number 3. What was the stupidest dare you ever agreed to?
I'm good.
I don't do dares.
I'm good. I'm
Sorry.
innocent.
Yeah.
I'm an innocent man.
I don't do
so-
dares.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No, are you serious? This because I bag out of mine. I mean, you can bag out of yours, Nick. You got to say yours.
I'm good. I am good. on
Jumping
that.
off cliffs.
You gotta say so. Huh?
Jumping off cliffs.
Hey, I'll just go get our policy book and I'll pick one for y'all next
Bro,
week.
don't call me out.
Don't worry
like
about
that.
it.
Don't call me out like that, bro.
Don't worry about it. I'll find one.
We good. We good on that one.
I'll tell you what. So I'll open it up. So mine was look, I just got back from combat, and so me and a friend of mine we were drinking, so I was good and liquored up, and he dared me to go streaking. So I was like, you know what, let's do that thing. So streaking, if you know what that is, you're in your birthday suit. And
That's a Monday night for me when I'm drinking.
That's a
What are you
Monday
talking
night,
about?
baby. And so
That's a
I had
Monday
my
night,
I had my
Yeah.
I had my cowboy boots on, had my steppers.
Exactly.
Hey,
Every
listen,
time
man,
I-
we at the
Being
front door.
coached.
We at the front door of the apartment. Like, who you ready? Yeah, you ready? You ready? You ready? Pew! And down the street, man, up and down
Oh,
the street. We
God.
took off and came back. But You listen. That was.
I'm thinking of that movie Varsity Blues right now.
Right.
You have to be drunk the street because DICK and Ball just slapping both legs and everything. I don't know how you able to do it. How do you do it?
Hey, King. Hey, listen. Swinging and dangling, baby. Swinging
Oh, man, look, your legs got bruises, your legs are bruised, your head bruised.
Hey, us two on the bottom don't have that fucking problem, okay?
Oh man, that
my
was good times,
goodness.
bro. Good times.
Oh, my
Question number 4. Question number 4. What word do you have a hard time pronouncing? What word do you have a hard time pronouncing?
Oh God. Just let me read a paragraph in the book. Hell, I don't know. I mean,
Well, whatever you had me read that one day. What did you have me read that one day? For when
RP?
Yeah, RP made me read yours. Well, I
Oh,
don't know
my
what
spotlight. My spotlight. Yeah, my
Yeah, yeah.
spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
It was. You can see it. It was written all over his face. Robert was so mad. He was. He wanted to say
Abolish.
Oh, yeah. That was it.
Yeah, I still can't pronounce it, dude. I even had.
I know. Yeah.
I still
I'm
have it
thinking.
probably on Google Translate, and I was hitting play like the whole entire time, like trying to remember what it goes. How do you pronounce that?
Hickos. Hickos. Mine was Hickos. Hickos.
Oh my god.
The Hickos people. HYKOS. Hikos. See?
That was
Hikos.
Nah,
Hikos.
Hiksos.
I was having a stroke that
Hicsos.
day. I was all.
Yeah, that was
stressed
funny.
out.
That was
It was not a
funny,
good time
man.
for me.
Oh my goodness.
Mine is so I got a couple of them, but it was statistician, statistician.
I ain't never heard of it.
Statistician.
Yeah.
No, it's like you got damn statistics. But you got a
Statistics, yeah.
statistician. I can't say
Statistician.
it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
and the other one is that damn sauce of Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
That's what I was gonna say, man.
Oh my goodness. Bro, I'm laughing so hard. My side is hurting, y'all. My
Right?
sides are hurting.
I say Worcestershire sauce, but I don't know if that's right or not.
Oh my goodness.
Man, it tears me up, man. My wife be like, just looking at me crazy. I in the heavy, so I still don't know how to say it. Which is something. W-O something. I like it.
W something.
You know what the secret ingredient in that sauce is that makes it taste so good?
What is it?
Anchovies.
Is it really?
It's
anchovy
anchovies.
oil. Yep.
That's
Yep.
there's actual anchovies in that's what makes that sauce.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Brother, I just
Okay,
learned.
question
So
number
if you
5.
if you've
Question-
never had
Go
anchovies,
ahead.
you might like them.
It might
That's
be.
right.
I might.
That's right. Question number 5. What is your favorite body part? What is your favorite body part?
Bruh.
I never thought about it.
The yoni.
Come on now.
The yoni. I mean, I'm sorry. The yoni.
I would have to probably my legs.
The yoni. That's the proper way to say it.
Yoni.
P-U-S-S-Y.
The yoni.
But the yoni.
The yoni in my arms. The yoni in my arms. Come on, Nick. You gotta say something. What you got?
Yeah, Nick. What's your favorite body part, Nick?
It would be my back lately. We'll just say my back, and Mackie knows why. Yeah.
I say my posterior chain.
That's a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
Listen,
Hey, so today I got a bonus. Today I got a bonus question.
it's
Today I
hot
got
in here.
a
It is
bonus
hottish.
question. I got a bonus question. Okay, here we go. You ready? I got a bonus question. So you ready? Nick, you answer first. So you're on the beach. You're on the beach. Yeah, no, I'm playing. I'm not even going to answer. I'm not going to do that.
Listen,
No, you can't start it not asking. No, you
No,
you go ahead.
I'm not going to do that to King. I'm not going to do that to him.
You should.
King- no, I'm not going
just
to do
go.
that.
Look
Just
at
shoot
it.
it. Just shoot
Come
it.
on,
Just
come
shoot
on,
it.
come on,
We're
come
here,
on.
we're here.
No,
Shoot
no.
it. No,
Rock and
shoot
roll.
it.
No.
Shoot it. Shoot
No,
it. Let's
no,
do it.
because I had to keep it free flowing. So now I didn't lost that momentum. I had to keep it.
No,
I'll save it for
no.
next time.
Oh,
I'm surprised
Nope,
next time.
nope, nope. It's
I was
too
trying
late.
to make
Oh.
They're already
All
sending
right.
laughing emojis in the chat. You're already there. Send it.
No,
We'll send it. Go.
no, because it might not be funny. It might not be funny now because I lost the momentum. But
Nah, dude.
I'll come up with another one. But it was off the chain. I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
But anyway,
you should
King
go.
Mac,
All
get
right.
it.
Just
Rock
ask.
and roll, man.
Oh
Throw it out.
my goodness! You
Throw it
should
out.
throw it out before spotlight.
Yep,
Throw it out
yep.
for the spotlight. Here we
Throw it
go.
out.
What? The
Just throw
question.
question out.
Yeah,
The beach,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No. So it was. Oh, so it's gonna be like for there's a rapid fire question. So not for spotlight, but it'll be So you're on the beach. You got a choice. A red hot 2-piece or bright orange thong. Go. Which one you wearing?
Oh, bright orange.
Oh, you're
bright orange song. Bright orange song, 100%. I am not putting on no damn. Ain't happening.
But he's putting on that thong, man.
Put on that song, though. You're right. I'm putting on that 2-piece.
Hey,
nah.
there was no hesitation in that
No,
answer.
None whatsoever. I heard 2-piece and thong. Nah, I ain't happening.
Oh my goodness. Ain't no telling. Nick probably already done it already. That's why he already.
Hey, don't call me out like that. All right?
When's your birthday, Nick? I might need to send you a present.
Listen.
I know. We need. Hey, that'd be good though.
15 days.
That would
is
be
my
good.
birthday, by the way.
We send it to the PD.
Oh, my
Send it to the
goodness.
PD.
Do not send that. Open that. Oh God.
Oh, my
man,
goodness.
that was
That was a
good.
good one.
That was good.
That was a good one.
King, you got
That was
spotlight,
good.
King? Or we
Hey, I got spotlight for today. So our spotlight for today is Madam C.J. Walker. All right, so Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove, 1867 to 1919. Was an American entrepreneur, an activist who built a hair care empire serving Black women and becoming one of the first self-made female millionaires in the United States. Her business success and civil leadership made her a national symbol of Black enterprise and women's economic independence. She was born December 23rd, 1867 in Delta, Louisiana. She died May 25th in New York. Like I said, she founded Madam C.J. Walker's manufacturing company in 1910. Born on a Louisiana plantation to former enslaved parents, Walker was orphaned at 7 and began to work in cotton fields. After marriage and widowhood, she moved to St. Louis, where church mentors encouraged her education. Experiencing hair loss from scalp difficulties, she experimented with treatments while working as a clerk and later a sales agent for Annie Turbine Malone's proper company. In 1905, Walker perfected Malcolm Walker's wonderful hair growth and adopted the professional title Madam. She and husband Charles Joseph Walker marketed her products door to door across the South, establishing headquarters in Indianapolis in 1910. She built a factory, a salon, and training school and educated thousands of Walker agents. Her franchise network gave Black women skilled employment and financial independence. Walker used her fortune to advance civil rights and education. She funded the Tuskegee Institution Scholarship, supported the NAACP and YMCA building campaigns. She spoke publicly against lynching, including during the 1917 silent protest parade. Her giving embodied racial uplift ideas, promoted Black self-help and women's leadership. Her legacy. At her death from hypertension in 1919, Walker's estate exceeded $600,000, about $9 million today, and her company employed tens of thousands worldwide. Her Irvington Mansion, Villa Laurel, and the Madam Walker Legacy Center in Indianapolis preserved her story. Biographer A. Leah Bundles and National Women's History Museum recognized her as a trailblazer who transformed Black beauty, culture, and philanthropy. Our spotlight for tonight, or for today, excuse me, is Madam C.J. Walker.
Right on.
That's beautiful. And going forward to the Brothers of Many Words Nation, we'll be opening up a segment for the listening chair. So if we don't get to your comments or your call-ins, which we will be bringing to a podcast as well, we get to the end of the show, we will have this part of it where we will take all that we can on and answer your comments and your questions and whatnot. Kings, any closing remarks?
Yeah. In the comments, we got
Yeah.
you know that
My best friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
so it says the 2-piece, there's just a swim trunks and a tank. So he opted for a thong over that.
Yeah,
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That
That was a good one, though. Yes, you kind of.
I
You
was
got
quick
you on
with
that
it.
one.
I was way too quick. I should have probably.
That's all I
Hey,
Oh
man.
my God.
We all know who
All
you
I-
truly
all
are
I-
now.
Yeah,
All
we
I
know.
saw was Pamela Anderson, Baywatch, and I immediately went for
Yeah.
Like,
Oh man. That's right.
Oh.
my goodness.
Kings. It was beautiful, Kings. It was beautiful. Thank everyone for joining us here on Open Mic this Wednesday. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this with someone who values meaningful conversation. And join us next Wednesday as we continue building through wisdom, experience, and purpose. It's been beautiful, Kings. King Chris, take us out, brother.
Ended with our 3 core foundational beliefs: faith, trust in your own power, believe deeply in your purpose, build unshakable confidence through action, and dedication. Show up when no one's watching. Stand firm in your own commitment to grow. Put in the reps mentally, physically, and daily. And the last is discipline. Forge your character through consistency. Set your code and follow it without compromise. Control your impulses and command your results.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just real quick,
Yeah.
Sunday Book Club, Sunday at noon, YouTube. Join us then. Love you guys.
Love you, Kings.
love you.
Love you.